Good morning. Today I wanted to talk about the difference of going through the motions of religion and then being transformed by the gospel. And I was thinking of two things. I was thinking of someone that's been going to church for 30 or 40 years, but they haven't experienced the fruit of the Spirit in their life because they're going through the motions of going to church every day, but they've really never. There's two postures. There's a I am my own posture, or I am His. You can go to church for 40 years and still be in I am my own posture. But what happens is the fruit of the Spirit, that person that's gone for 40 years but never submitted their life fully to God, said, you know what, God, I'm yours, won't experience the fruit of the Spirit, won't experience that peace and love and joy. But the person that 2 days ago really came to that place of saying, you know what, God, I'm all yours. I'm all in. I'm not compartmentalizing my faith. I'm really fully immersed in knowing you and being transformed more and more into your image. That person's going to experience that peace and joy and love and contentment. And then the fruit from their life will be that same thing. That person that's going to church for 30 or 40 years and never really came to that place is still living rooted in self. Where we experience that wholeness or fullness is being rooted and established in the love of God. And that's where everything changes. It's about us saying, it says that, we can come from either place, but it's just saying, you know what, God, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to trust you with my life. And in that is where I've seen lives being completely transformed. The goodness of God changes that person. It says that we're all dead in our sins and our trespasses, but God, being rich in mercy and grace, brings us to life. But He can't bring us to life if there's no submission of our life to Him, if it's still just trying to incorporate Jesus into our life for betterment right now. And I think that's where a lot of Christianity is. But wherever you are in the process, at any time we can come and say, God, I'm yours. That's our free will choice of living a life centered in self or a life centered in Him. And then grace in the process, that now all of a sudden I'm in Him, and there's still that flesh and spirit struggle in our life, but we're becoming more and more like Him in the process. We're being led more and more by the Spirit of God rather than our flesh. It's a beautiful place to be. Then you're walking in freedom instead of bondage, because when we're living our lives centered in self, we're in bondage to self. We are either a slave to sin and self and the flesh, or we're slaves to righteousness, our right standing with God and understanding His love for us. And then that's the thing that's shaping us and molding us. That is freedom. And that's the desire of what a follower of Jesus is. It's just, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, pick up their cross, and follow me. The one who tries to hold on to his life will lose it, but the one who lays down his life for my sake and the gospel will find it. That is freedom. That is a follower of Jesus. Just because we go to church every Sunday doesn't make us a follower of Christ. Us being transformed more into His image as we follow and experience the beauty of being His child. Those who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God, right? It's a beautiful place to be. May you experience the fullness of being His in a submitted life to our loving God. God bless y'all.